Hi, thanks for watching today. Today's video, we're going to focus on a concept for a young professional client. We're going to compare a YRT and we're actually going to fund it with a little bit more to match level. And again, this concept would be for a client, again, who's looking for permanent insurance, but maybe they're willing to take on a little bit more risk and kind of want that investment component. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and create a strategy that shows them two different options for permanent insurance, but we're going to try and build a cash value within one. Again, I'm illustrating this using life design analysis software, and if you're not familiar with it, essentially we're a comparison software that helps visualize these different plans so that you can actually communicate them to your users. If you haven't done so already, sign up for our free 30-day trial. Again, we don't even ask for a credit card up front, so you get to try it, see it, experience it with your clients, increase that sales, and then again, it's just a month-to-month Netflix style model where, again, you get to choose your subscription package, and again, we promise you'll save time, increase your sales, and really have better satisfied clients. And again, it's also going to increase that branding. I'm going to sign into my account. This is the Elite account, our top of the line level account, and I'm going to compare a couple different options here. So you can see this is the main dashboard. Again, you can do any sort of comparison, life insurance, CI. All of them are saved and managed, and there's even a CRM in the site. So for more information, do reach out to our website and get a little bit more information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by adding a brand new case. So you can make unlimited cases in the system, different comparisons, different strategies for your clients. Again, I'm going to choose a client that I've done before, so I'm just picking my John Marks client here. Let's just find him here. Again, once you key in a client, you don't have to constantly re-enter them. That's that CRM portion that's going to manage all those clients. I'm going to set up the insurance benefit here to be $1 million. But of course, this face value, it could work with whatever your client's actual need is. So this concept isn't locked into certain face values. I'm choosing a 30-year-old client here. So I'm just going to use the client age override because I haven't set a birth date here. And again, like I mentioned before, what I want to do is I want to show a couple different permanent solutions. This would be, again, for a young client who's maybe looking to lock in, but maybe they have a little bit of extra cash and they've expressed some interest in kind of an investment component. So I'm going to start off by just searching for minimum funded UL to start with. And again, these search rates within our system are actually provided by LifeGuide, so they're always up to date. As another bonus, as a LifeGuide subscriber, use your serial number from LifeGuide to get a 50% discount to our services, compliments to those rates. And again, they really work well together when you want to take all that information from LifeGuide and create professional presentations and comparisons. I'm going to focus on the SSQ product today, so I'm just going to select this SSQ Life here. The reason I'm picking SSQ is I know they have fantastic YRT rates, and I really want to maximize that investment component. The whole idea of this concept that I'm showing is basically we could, take our basic level premium for life here, $5,140. But if our client has a little bit maybe extra risk tolerance, has expressed some cash value needs or wants, basically what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to add a SSQ UL spreadsheet. And I'm going to design a quote essentially that is, the YRT is going to undercut that minimum funded UL cost, but we're going to have that extra room to deposit it into the investment side of it. So what I'm really going to do is I'm going to match these dollar for dollar, but I'm going to put one as a YRT and use that. And what I'm hoping to do is use that extra deposit room to really build some cash in the policy. Again, ideally, it's got to last till age 100 as well, or well past life expectancy. So I've got to build something fairly safe that's going to maintain time and also, again, take care of my client's need of wanting some extra cash. So I'm just going to come over here into the SSQ software. And again, I can design anything I'd like. You can see, again, I've set up a male 30 non-smoker. I've got my cost of insurance option as this YRT. Again, same $1 million face value. Now, what I have changed is I've actually specified the deposits at $5,140, and I've done that to match the minimum funded UL. Under my investments tab here, I'm just choosing a balanced strategy. I've picked something fairly safe, again, 4%. You might want to set it even a little bit lower if you wanted to be even safer and see how it works. I'm comfortable with around 4%. But again, your preference or your risk tolerance of your client really is going to determine what you set as the interest rate. One of the great things about using kind of the illustration software and the spreadsheet and actually bringing it into Life Design is that you can actually control all these different options. So you can see, while the minimum premium here is $1,340, we've overfunded it quite a bit. And of course, that's what we're doing to try and build that cash value. And again, keep it in force stage 100 without it kind of blowing up on us. So once you have the quote designed to your own comfort level, designed to your specifications, what you want to do is you want to say, I want to view the spreadsheet. And this is going to give you all the details about the plan, how much cash it's going to accumulate, all the different kind of components. You don't really have to worry about it. All I want you to do is look for this little grayed out export to Excel button, and it's a little gray X. It's kind of, it's a little subtle there, but again, once you see it, you can click export to Excel. It's going to give you this warning message saying just make sure you don't have another SSQ sheet open, otherwise it's going to override it, and then just say OK. Again, as you can see, it's got my deposit amount of exactly what I'm putting into the policy, all these values within it. Again, there's two different ways you can do it. You can save the entire spreadsheet as a CSV file. I like the copy and paste method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm using Control-C here to copy, but you could just right-click and copy this and come back to our software here. You can see there's a paste spreadsheet data option. If you had saved the whole thing as a CSV, you'd use this one. We're using the paste method today. Again, I'm going to Control-V or right-click it and paste it in the box. And you can see it's saying paste the whole spreadsheet in the box, click Upload. And that's really all you have to do. It looks mixed up on the screen there. Don't even worry about it. We're all expecting it just like that format on our end. We're going to read it perfectly. Once it uploads, it's going to give you a success or error message. Most of the time it'll be a success. It'll tell you why if you did something off or if you were kind of bringing in a different product. But again, it's going to let you know if it was successful. Okay, perfect. So now that we've uploaded it, you can see the plan has been imported successfully. I've got my two different products here, the minimum funded UL and the YRT. Now, of course, what I want to do to really make this clear to my client is, again, I want to edit the title. I don't want to just call this SSQ UL spreadsheet. I want to give a little description as to what I've actually done here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say SSQ YRT funded to match level, because that's exactly what I've done. I've put in the extra deposit. And again, I'm just going to say this is a 4% assumed return. Again, I want to say, give a little description as to what I've done, and I'll save that. And essentially that will update all the different legends within the comparison of the report itself. So it gives a little extra description. I'm also going to set my time frame to age 99. It's very important that I design this to be a permanent insurance solution. And I really, I'm using the IRR chart. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm kind of looking at IRR around life expectancy. So I might want to look at this, in 45 years. So I'm going to clip that beginning of the chart. But essentially, once I put my product in there, set my time frame, I'm going to generate the report. And let's see how these look. Again, you can see both policies paid exactly the same dollar for dollar. So when we look at the annual premium schedule, again, there is no difference. That other line's actually just hiding underneath here. So I'd probably get rid of this one because I don't think, again, when we know we're putting in the exact same deposit, we're not really calculating the difference of premiums. What I did want to show here, though, is that, in the YRT one here, we're building this cash value because, again, what we're doing is we're kind of undercutting that lower price point with the YRT versus the minimum, but we're using that extra deposit room to invest at 4% in that balanced fund that I was talking about. And again, you can see we're actually building, again, for the exact same deposit, we're building a substantial amount of cash value for this client. And the way we're able to do that is by, again, using that risk tolerance of the client and saying, look, we can start at YRT and we can put in the extra deposit into investment. So if I come down here again, I can see it's a flat level insurance benefit, so we have kept it in force. And in fact, even a little later on here, if we keep getting this 4% return, we've got some uptick in the actual insurance benefit here. Age 90, a little well past, I probably wouldn't be counting on it, but with people living longer and longer these days, it could be a great factor in fighting inflation. Maybe apply it with a PV if you want to look at it, or fund it a little bit more to kind of tackle some inflation. But here's the neat thing, again, that I really like in the presentation summary is, again, we see the exact same deposit, so all the way down the line, there's no premium deposit difference. But for a client taking the risk of saying, look, I'm going to use the YRT and then use that extra room to actually, build some cash value, again, we're seeing quite a nice cash value for taking on that risk. And again, even if the client doesn't put in the money, these products can also be designed as a YRT to a T100. So another great concept to show that you can start out with the YRT, save that money in the initial years, but then convert to something level, so there is very little risk as well as it's properly planned. So that's a neat little strategy you can use to, again, maximize the same deposit for a client who's looking to build a little cash value, has maybe more tolerance for risk, but use those great rates of SSQ and kind of, have an extra little strategy to say, look, for the same deposit, we can actually build a little bit of cash value. So again, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, reach out to your wholesaler. But if you have requests for different videos and things like that, email me at charlie@lifedesignanalysis.com. Thanks so much for watching.